Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum and welcome to our training program, Microsoft Excel for intermediate level. In this training, we will conduct a specific learning methods such as data validation, pivot table, VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP processing data, and many more. The students will become more efficient in organizing and interpreting data and information, as well as completing tasks and projects with high quality. So without further ado, I would like to move forward for the first training, which is about data validation program, and will be conducted by me, Rida Ardini. Next slide. So Excel data validation is a feature that allows you to control the type of data entered into your worksheet. For example, Excel data validation allows you to limit data entries to a selection from a drop-down list and to restrict certain data entries such as dates or number outside of a predetermined range. Next slide. So I would like to proceed with the sample that I want to show you regarding the data validation. So we're going to learn a little bit more about Microsoft Excel, and I would consider this as an intermediate features or techniques in using Microsoft Excel. So I would like to proceed with the sample that I want to show regarding the data validation. So we're going to learn a little bit more about Microsoft Excel, and I would consider this as an intermediate features or techniques in using Microsoft Excel, and it's called data validation. And I have here to share the spreadsheet that I already prepared for you guys. So the first step is I'm going to highlight the entire column A, as you can see on the screen. And now that's already selected, and I will go to the data ribbon and choose this symbol, which is the data validation symbol. And I got this nice pop-up right here in the box. Now I can make any changes in the box. For example, if I want to have only certain number can be typed in the column A, then I can adjust it here. So if I type something into this box that doesn't fit those parameters, it wants me this value doesn't match the data validation, as you can see on the picture on the next picture. And I can either cancel or I can retry it. So before I explain further, I will show you guys a proper tutorial on how to do the data validation.
In this video tutorial, we're going to learn a little bit more about Microsoft Excel, and I consider this an advanced feature or technique in using Excel, and it's called data validation. And I have here the spreadsheet that I made in a previous video, and if you haven't seen my other Excel videos, I highly recommend that you do watch those other tutorials before watching this one. But anyway, as you see here, I have a spreadsheet listing some synth pop or new wave bands. And then also here on sheet 1, I have a list of DVDs, movie inventory basically. And what I'd like to do right now with these spreadsheets is add a little bit of data validation. So what is data validation? Basically what it is it's a way for you to almost guarantee, pretty much ensure that you have in a particular column data that is logical, data that fits certain parameters. And if we're talking about text, it helps you to ensure that the text is spelled correctly. So how could we set this up? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to use the Data tab. When you click on the Data tab, the Data ribbon appears. And you can see here in the Data Tools group, we have a button that says Data Validation. Now, how do I use this? Well, step 1 is to select something that I want to affect. I would like to affect the data in column B. So I'm going to select column B. The quickest way to do that is just to click on B. It highlights the entire column all the way down to infinity, basically. Now that that's selected, here in the Data Tools group, I'm going to click on Data Validation, and I get this nice pop-up here that I can use to make some decisions and some choices about the data that will be in column B. First off, notice that it says any value. Right now, it'll allow anything to be typed into this column. I want to change that and make it so that it's not just any value, it's a whole number. A year should show up as a whole number. And as soon as I selected whole number, did you notice what happened? The information below changed. Now I can go in and say, I would like that data to be between two numbers that I would put here, or maybe not between those two numbers, or greater than or less than or equal to. There's all of these great options that you can put in there. So I'm going to say between, I don't know, when did new wave and synth pop, etc. begin? Probably mid 70s. I'm going to say 1974. And the maximum, it'll be relevant forever. So let's just put the year maybe 3900. That should cover it. And then I can click OK. And now watch. If I type something into this box that doesn't fit those parameters, hit enter, it warns me this value does not match the data validation restrictions defined for this cell. And I can either cancel, which gets rid of the text that I put in there, or I can retry. And so with data validation, this will prevent people from entering data that just makes no sense, that doesn't fit the parameters. Now, if I select that again and go back into data validation, you can see that I have some advanced options as well. And the advanced options are here. There's a tab, actually a couple of tabs, that I can click to put in some messages to whoever's using the spreadsheet. There's a checkbox that says show input message when cell is selected. So when the user clicks to enter data into one of the cells in column B, this input message could appear. Maybe the message is make sure the year is 1974 or later. I can click OK. So now anytime someone clicks, it will remind them, make sure the year is 1974 or later, because that's about when the best genre of music was starting to develop. Similarly, I could also just select column B, go to the data tab, go to data validation, and I could go in and put in an error alert. And error alerts are pretty similar to input messages, but instead of trying to catch a mistake before it happens, an error alert just alerts the user to the fact that they made a mistake. So what I can do here is I can decide to change the style of the alert if I would like to. I can change it to a warning signal. I could change it to an informational signal, or have it be a stop signal. And that's the default. I'll just leave it at that. And here in error message, I'll type in the date you entered doesn't fit the parameters of new wave / synthpop. There you go. Now, you've probably noticed that in both of these cases, input message and error alert, I skipped entering a title. That's okay. I mean, I could put in a title if I want to, but it is also okay just to skip that and leave it blank. I'll just click OK. And so now if I click in this column, I do get a message that says, make sure that the year is 1974 or later. And then if I type and put in something that doesn't fit the parameters, I get the warning that I entered. The date you entered doesn't fit the parameters of New Wave Synthpop. So this data validation can be very, very helpful as you try to make your spreadsheets have accurate information, especially if you're sharing a spreadsheet with other people that maybe don't know Excel as well as you do. And of course, because you've been watching my videos, you know it pretty well. Real quick, I want you to notice that this works also with text. So I've selected column A that's mostly text. And when I went into data validation, it gives me the option to change it. And I can affect this text based on the length of the text. So that's just one example of how it can affect text. So the length of the text in this case would have to be less than 22 characters. So you click OK. And then if I try to type in something way too long, let's see what happens. And you can guess what happens. It says it doesn't match. So I'll just cancel that out. Okay, so that's the most common kind of data validation, where you set parameters for numbers or for text, including dates and things like that.
Okay, so this data validation as a conclusion can be very helpful as you try to make accurate information, especially if you are sharing the spreadsheet with other people that maybe don't know Excel as much as you do now. So without further ado, I would like to pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Okay, so I will continue. First, I am your trainer number 2. My name is Shahira. I will explain about VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP and how to use it in Excel. Okay, what is VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP? VLOOKUP stands for vertical lookup, one of the methods to find answer in vertical position, and answer must be in column table. VLOOKUP also to search a data range that is set up vertically. Next, what is HLOOKUP? HLOOKUP stands for horizontal lookup, one of the methods to find answer in horizontal position, and answer must be in row table. HLOOKUP also is at some function but looks up data that has been formatted by rows instead of columns. Function, lookup, and related functions are commonly used for business analytics in Excel as a way of slicing and dicing data for analysis. Now I will share the video how to use VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP.
Tak dengar suara.
So we want to know office location for 101.
Dengar tak?
Okay. So now I want to explain about how to use VLOOKUP in Excel. So here we have reference table for office code and office location. And we look at formula for VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP, lookup value, table array, column index number, range lookup. So we want to know office location for code 100 and 105. So we use formula VLOOKUP. Lookup value. Lookup value means difference that we have to find answer in reference table. So here we have 100 and 105. So we want to know code 100. So we select 100. Table array. Table array means that the all reference table. So we select all reference table. And we log with, we click F4. Okay. Okay, next for columns index number. Columns index number means that the answer that we want in what column. So here we want to know about office location. Location in column 2, number 2. So we put 2. Range lookup. Most of our data we use false or 0 to get exact match answer. So use 0 and we close bracket. So we get office location is wilayah persekutuan. So next we want to know office location at code 105. So same, we use formula VLOOKUP. Lookup value. So we click at 105 table array, or we select all this data and we log. We click F4. Column index number, number 2. Then same, we use range lookup is 0. So close bracket. We get for code 105, office location is in Johor. That's all for VLOOKUP. Now we move at HLOOKUP. HLOOKUp is same. The formula is same with VLOOKUP. But HLOOKUP we want to know the answer in row. So here we want to know the seller name. for date 7 January. So we use formula HLOOKUP. Lookup value, we select 7 January. Table array, we select all of these data and we click F4. For column index number, okay, we look at selenim. Selenim is in row 2. So we put 2. For range lookup, also same with VLOOKUP, we use 0. Okay, we get selenim in date 7 January is intent. Okay. Next we want to
எனக்கு
know
இது ஓடிக்கிட்டு இருக்கு பேசாம இருங்க.
sale. So we use formula HLOOKUP. Column is that number for item in row 3. Range lookup is 0. Close bracket and we get we know that intent sale the item is binder. Next, what's units that intent sale for binder? So, okay, we use formula HLOOKUP. Lookup value, we select 7 January. Table array, we select all of this data and we log F4. For column index number, for unit in row 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 and range lookup is 0. We close bracket and we get 75 units for binder. Okay. Next, we want to know the selenim at date 15 January. So we use formula HLOOKUP. Lookup value, we select 15 January. Table array, we select all of this data and we click F4. For the index number for selenim in row 2 and for range lookup is 0. So we get the selenim in date 15 January is fakir. Next, the item also same in the formula HLOOKUP. Lookup value, we click at January, table array. So select all of this data and we log F4. For column index number, item is in row 3 and range lookup is 0. Close bracket. So we get also the item that's fakir sale is binder. So we want to know units. Use formula HLOOKUP. We click 15 January. Table array, we select all of these and we log. Column index number, unit in row 1, 2, 3, 4, row 4 and 0, close bracket. So we get 46 units for binder that participate. Next, we want to know selenim for 1 January, 1st January. So we use formula HLOOKUP. So we select 1st January. table array, we select all of these and we log F4, colon index number 2, orange lookup 0, close bracket, and we get the seller name is in 1st January is Bella. So for item, lookup value, we select 1st January. For table array, select all of this data, we log F4, row number 3, close lookup 0, close bracket, and we get the items that Bella said is N. So next, for unit, we select 1st January. For table array, we select all of these, log F4. For column index number is in row 4, 0, close bracket, and we get 95 units. So that's all for me for HLOOKUP and VLOOKUP. So I will pass to next trainer.
Hi, I'm trainer number 3, Nokairuni Sabenti Jaffa. We explain about generating a pivot table. Pivot table is the most powerful feature of Microsoft Excel that allow user to quickly retrieve information from larger data set. Pivot table can be used as an alternative to perform data analysis related to grouping and summarizing data. Pivot table function is intended so that data can be presented in a conscious manner based on the given parameter according to data needs. By using a pivot table is expected to accelerate the analysis of data to draw a conclusion or decision. Now I will share a proper video how to create a pivot table.
Goodwill Community Foundation, creating opportunities for a better life.
One of the best things about Excel is the fact that a single worksheet can hold so much information. In fact, you could fill billions of cells if you needed that much room. A file with that much data could get pretty overwhelming, but there's a feature called pivot tables that can help. Pivot tables let you summarize and manipulate your data without actually changing anything in the worksheet. Let's take a look at how they work. In this example, I have some company sales data with columns for the salesperson, region, account, order amount, and month. And I need to find the answer to a very specific question. What is the amount sold by each salesperson? Because each salesperson has data on more than one row, I'd normally have to add these up in order to find the answer. But a pivot table can do this for us automatically, which will make the task much, much easier. First, you need to select your data. You can just click any cell if it's formatted as a table. Otherwise, you need to select all the cells yourself, and don't forget your column headers. When you're ready, go to the Insert tab, then click the Pivot Table command. You'll usually want to place your pivot table on a new worksheet, so make sure this option is selected. Then click OK, and a new sheet will appear. Over on the left is our blank pivot table. It's okay that there's nothing there yet. to the right is a list of fields that have actually been pulled from our column headers. This is where we control what is or isn't displayed in the pivot table. But before we continue, let's take another look at that question. What is the amount sold by each salesperson? This question tells us exactly which fields to use to find out the answer: salesperson and order amount. All you have to do is check the box next to the field, and it'll be added to one of the areas below, in this case, the rows category. Another method is to drag and drop the field into place. We'll put this one under values. If we go back to the pivot table, now we can see the information we were looking for. In other words, the amount sold by each salesperson. So our question has been answered just by choosing what fields to include. One of the best things about pivot tables is how easy they are to modify, so you can view and analyze different things. Let's say, for example, that you wanted to know each person's monthly sales, not just their total sales. Just drag the month field down here to columns, and this will add a column for each month in the worksheet. If we wanted to know what each region sold, we could take out the month and salesperson fields and then drag region down to rows. So each time we change the fields, the pivot table is just combining the source data in a different way, so we can view the information we need. And we're doing all this without adding or changing anything in the original worksheet. You can even experiment by dragging the fields into different areas, but some combinations work better than others. For instance, if I move order amount over to columns or rows, you can see that it doesn't really give us any useful data. Since order amount contains numerical values, it really does work best in the values area. Finally, if we click the arrow next to order amount and go to value field settings, we can change the function to something other than sum. Instead, we could count the number of cells, calculate the average, or use any of the other options here. Some of these functions will be more useful than others depending on your data, so that's just something to keep in mind. In our next video, doing more with pivot.
So in the video, we found that pivot table is interactive table that are very fast in analyzing, combining, and comparing a number data to be presented into a report in the form of table. Okay, that's all from me. I will pass to Priya for next.
All right, next is for the energizer. And as for the energizer, we plan to show a picture, and from the picture will be showed for 1 minute, and you guys have to observe that and then look into the colors and the activities they do and everything. And after that, we will close the picture, and then we will ask some questions about the picture, just like what the girl near the bush is doing, like that. You'll understand? Guys?
Yes.
If you all have any questions, can ask also. Okay. Guys, I've seen that.
How many seconds?
I think for 1 minute.
Dah start ke? Untuk count 1 minute.
Yeah, I can close, I think.
Okay.
Okay. Who wanna ask question? Anyone can ask. Pei, Nisa, whoever has the picture can ask. Pei, wanna ask?
How many roses there in the picture?
7.
Yes,
Wow.
7, correct. Next, who wanna ask? Maybe Nisa or Rida. Okay, I'll ask, huh? How many sandwiches was on the table?
I think 2 sandwich.
How many?
2.
Yes, correct. Wow, you guys observe the picture so well, lah. Another one more question or 2 question like that. Who wanna ask? Nisa, Rida, Shahira.
Okay. Last question. Not last questions. Second last. How many ducks is there in the lake?
4.
I
Almost
think 2.
correct. Yeah,
I think 2
two.
in lake.
Only in the lake. Yeah.
A very technical question, huh? Maybe another one.
How many people wear red shirt?
Anyone?
5 maybe? 5?
Yeah, around
3.
actually, there are 5 or 6 people who are wearing just slightly red there, red here, like that. Correct, correct. Okay, I think that's all for the energizer. So we'll continue. I think. Okay, Pei, next is Pei's turn.
Okay. Hi everyone. I am Pei. Sorry, Priya, mute your mic, please.
Yeah, done that.
Okay. Hi everyone, I am Miss Pei for the next training session in creating a dynamic dashboard. So before I proceed to show you guys how to create a dynamic dashboard, I would like to explain briefly about what is the function of the dynamic dashboard. Next slide. So for the definition, a dynamic dashboard enables each user to see the data they have access to and its functions. It integrates information from multiple sources and understand able format as charts and graphs, and also it offers up to minute snapshots of information or data. Not only that, it also assists decision makers in identifying issues or potential problems. So now I will show you guys a video that I have recorded before in creating a dynamic dashboard. Hope you guys enjoy watching it. Yeah. looking dashboard. So the dashboard I have. Can you guys hear? Now I will show
Yes.
Okay. Guys, how to do a simple and nice looking dashboard. So the dashboard, I have already done 2 different pivot chart. So now I will continue with the third one, the pivot table. In order to complete this dashboard, we have to first create pivot table and then a pivot chart. So once we completed to create the pivot chart, and then we just press Ctrl X to cut it, and then Ctrl V to paste it in this dashboard page. So now I'll show you guys how to do the third pivot table and pivot chart. So press on pivot table, and then OK. What we're gonna put in the rows is we're gonna put it in like small. And then now we press on this, which will be slicer. You can see that it is only changed to the pivot chart on the first pivot chart, because this is the pivot chart that we choose to create the slicer. So we highlight all this to change back to the original one. And then we're going to right click here and then the connections. So we're going to connect all of this to the pivot chart directly, and then press OK. Send to the ladder slicers. Okay, so now all the slicers and the pivot chart is interconnected. So we press on here to see. So every single pivot chart will change. So this is how we visualize our data and information. So highlight all of it to become the original one. So here's the simple. So that is the way to create a dynamic dashboard. So for example, by using the dynamic dashboard, this is because nowadays it's very important for university students in managing their financial status, right? So by using a dynamic dashboard, they can visualize their weekly, monthly, or even yearly spending or expenses. So they can make decisions or planning to better manage their financial status. So I will pass the presentation or training to the next trainer, Miss Rena Freya. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sure. I'm Miss Vignapriya Ramesh. I would like to explain about sorting and querying. And move on to next slide. As for the definition of sorting, it's organizing data recorded in Excel in accordance with your needs. It is possible to accomplish this by relying on the value type of sorted in cells, which is always students or other people will prefer to do it in manual. And for the next is querying. It simplifies the process of importing data from several sources and files and organizing it into the most accessible way as well. As for the function of sorting, it sorts range or arrays content in ascending or descending order, and it import data from a variety of sources and then clean, convert, and reshape it as needed. And I would like to show the Excel practice that you use. Sorry,
It's okay.
Problems with me, okay?
Alright, first of all, when it comes to sorting, we have ascending and descending order of sorting. Sorting which is based on colors in the column, and we also can unsort the sorting we did before. Next is multiple columns that should be sorted, and
Can you guys hear?
Boleh tapi ada echo. I think Rida should mute mic. Coba.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Also, we can custom the sorting as well. Alright, first of all, when it comes to sorting, with ascending and descending order of sorting, sorting which is based on color in the column, and we also can unsort the sorting we did before. Next is multiple columns that should be sorted, and also we can custom the sorting as well. First of all, for the ascending order, we can choose products to sort it in the ascending order and descending order. As for the products to be in the ascending order, we can highlight it, and then when you click the home button, there will be sort and filter icon. So for the sorting, we can choose sort it from A to Z, which is ascending order. And the products have been sorted from ascending order. And also for the dates, we can also sort it according to the month from the ascending order also. So when you highlight all these, and you can click this icon from the oldest to newest, which will be which will start from the February to the April. There it's done. And these are the ascending and descending order. For the descending order, you just Alright, first of all, when it comes to sorting, we have ascending and descending order of sorting. Sorting which is based on color in the column, and we also can unsort the sorting we did before. Next is multiple columns that should be sorted, and also we can custom the sorting as well. First of all, for the ascending order, we can choose products to sort it in the ascending order and descending order. As for the products to be in the ascending order, we can highlight this, and then when you click the home button, there will be sort and filter icon. So for the sorting, we can choose sort it from A to Z, which is ascending order. And the products have been sorted from ascending order. And also for the dates, we can also sort it according to the months from the ascending order also. So when you highlight all these, and you can click this icon from the oldest to newest, which will be the which will start from the February to the April. There it's done. And these are the ascending and descending order. For the descending order, you just have to do it like before. You just can click this, and then from the newest to oldest is the descending order, which will be sorted from April to February. There it's done. And you can also do it for the products as well for the descending order, which will be sort Z to A. And it's done as well. When you look at it properly, when you sort it from the ascending order to the descending order, or descending order to the ascending order, all of the data here will be changed from the ascending order to the descending order. And secondly, you can also sort it according to the colors in the quantity.
As you can see here, there is a data icon. When you click it, there will be a sort icon as well in this. And to sort this one, you can click here and this box will come out. And when you wanted to sort the color of the quantity as well, you have to click here first, highlight this, and then only you can sort it. So here there will be appearing the quantity, and you can choose cell color, and there is the color you wanted to sort. And first of all, I wanted the orange color to be on top, so there is it on top, and you have to add level for the second color and quantity. Just like before, it should be set cell color. And next I wanted it to be yellow, so and again you have to add level, quantity, cell color, and it should be green. This one should be below on bottom, and this one should be on bottom too. And there is it. The colors have been sorted, and when you sort all these colors in the columns as well, all the data will be sorted as well too. And next, when you wanted to sort it for the multiple columns here, and you have to click on product as well, and I wanted to sort product and price for the per products, which should be here. You have to click this sort button as well, and this should be deleted. Add level, sort by product first, cell values, which can be ascending order A to Z. And for the second level, I wanted to add it to the price for the per product. Here, cell values, and it should be, I wanted it to be smallest to the largest, which is ascending order. There goes it. Green gram has been sorted from the ascending order, and for the rice, it has been sorted as in ascending order, which has been the same prices. As for the last one, we can also unsort the data we have been sorted before. When you wanted to unsort the data as well, you can also add a column here, and you click it, you highlight it, and when you right click, there will be a sort icon, and you can add it as smallest to the largest, and it will be added, or it will be go back to the real data we have been added. Next, as we move on to the querying part, and when you click at the data icon, all the queries and the connections for the queries, and also connection to the Power Query have been added. And since we wanted to merge our data here, come to the file, and to import the data, this is the data. And these are the files that we have been merged, and this is the list that I would like to merge into the querying part. As for the data have been transformed, these are the details that we have imported to the query part. I would like to close and load it. And this is how the data will be merged in the Excel to access the queries that will be performed.